What's going on, guys? Radio Graffiti here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the new episode of The Penguin. You guys know what time it is. Every week, new episode of Penguin. It gives me something to look forward to every single week. This show is so fantastic. How great is it that we have something to look forward to every single week? For an hour, we know we're going to have pure entertainment. It's a great time to be watching this show right now. So this episode starts off where we left off from the last episode, with us seeing Penguin and Sofia's perspective when they're being held at gunpoint, and we find out that she did in fact spill the beans that Penguin murdered Alberto. So that's going to be a bit of a problem for Oswald Cobblepot. Now the person he just worked with for one episode knows that he's the one that killed her brother. That might be a little bit of an issue for him. But after that, she kind of just hits her head and kind of just goes and has a little flashback to her before she got locked up in Arkham, and when she does go to Arkham. Unfortunately, this is about all of the Penguin we actually get in this episode, which is kind of my only little tiny nitpick. I mean, it's a show called The Penguin. I kind of expected the Penguin to be in it a little more. He was only maybe like 2 or 3 minutes the entire episode. But the entire episode is just about Sofia when she goes to Arkham, before she goes to Arkham, and sort of what happens to her after she passes out and calls the guy from the Luke Cage TV show to come pick her up. So Sofia's whole backstory is basically she witnessed her mom, quote unquote, kill herself when she was a little girl. But then as she started to do some more digging, she realized, oh, she was strangled. Then she suspects her father may have been the one who murdered her mother. And once Carmine Falcone finds out that she's starting to get suspicious of him, he has her transferred over to Arkham Asylum, where he frames her for some murders. He pulls some strings to make sure she stays in there. She ends up staying in Arkham for about 10 years, which is crazy. 10 years, it's supposed to be 6 months. Then it turns out a whole decade has gone by. It makes you kind of feel really bad for Sofia. She was just a normal girl, about as normal as you can be, I guess, being Carmine Falcone's daughter. I'm sure she probably did some shady stuff here and there, probably some criminal stuff on the side, maybe once or twice, but she wasn't a murderer. She wasn't a psychopath like she is now. We find out that Arkham is actually what made her crazy in the first place, because she basically had to either adapt or die. And I like how much of this episode we get where we get these uncomfortable moments with Sofia where she has to get introduced to all these whack jobs in Arkham, and how she slowly just starts to break and give up on life. She realizes that Carmine Falcone has won and that she's stuck in Arkham for who knows how long. So she kind of just snaps and actually does become a killer. She's like, well, everyone wants me to be a killer so bad, I'll be one. So that was all really neat. I really like this episode. It has great writing, great cinematography, all the usual stuff with the Penguin. It's been just extraordinary every episode. So yeah, she ends up getting tortured and beaten at Arkham. Then we cut to her after she wakes up in the doctor's little office, and she gives us some great dialogue talking about how she's basically going to start a new life, which means she's going to basically kill her whole family that betrayed her, that had her sent to Arkham and let her rot and be tortured for a decade, just to cover Carmine Falcone's murder of her mother. Can't help but feel really bad for Sofia. Now, I do have some questions about how she goes about killing this family. So, she gasses them, right? She saves the little girl, which is a cute little moment, like, oh, I won't let the little girl die. I can't help but wonder if maybe she saved her just because, it's the right thing to do to not murder a child, or if because she sees somewhat of herself in this little girl. She wants to give this girl a chance at life, a restart, that Sofia probably wanted in her life. Because, these are killers. You can't just assume, oh, it's just because it's a little girl that she saved her. I can't help but wonder if maybe she just sees a little bit of herself in the little girl, and she wants to give the little girl a chance at life that probably Sofia wished she had gotten to get away from her crazy-ass father. My only question is, how did everyone, instantly die? Usually when you gas somebody, don't you have to kind of, lock them up in a room so they don't escape? I don't know. I've never gassed anybody before, let alone an entire family. But when I do, I'll make sure I let you guys know. But until then, I can't help but wonder, how do they instantly die? Why didn't they just leave as soon as they got a couple good sniffs and were like, hey, what the hell is that smell? Usually you gotta kind of lock them in a room so they don't escape, right? So they have no choice but to inhale it. But it shows everyone dead, and it kind of looks like they just instantly died. Like people are just laying in bed chilling, but they're dead. People are just laying on the floor dead. Maybe she did lock the doors, Because she opens up all the doors, but it's like, how did they not just break the glass or something? I don't know. Also, how did the guy from Man of Steel not die? He seems to be the only one who wasn't gassed. I'm genuinely asking, maybe I missed something, but I don't know how he was the only one that didn't die. Did he, like, close his vent or something? Or how did she control where the gas, which rooms they went to? Did he have a gas mask or something? I mean, was he tipped off at all about this? I don't think he knew anything about the family being gassed. Why would he let them all die? So she had to have done something. I don't know. I'm just asking. They don't really matter, but I can't help but just kind of wonder, how did her plan go so perfectly? But yeah, she kills them all, and that's pretty much the entire episode. Kind of feel bad for the little girl in this episode because her mom died. As far as I know, her mom didn't do anything like awful and shady that deserved to die, but you kind of just assume just because she's in cahoots with these people that maybe she did deserve it, but I never really felt like the woman did deserve to die. I mean, she has a daughter, kind of gives her a good reason to keep living unless she did something absolutely despicable. I don't know. Anyways, great episode. Really enjoyed seeing Sofia's story. Kind of gives you more of a perspective of where she's coming from. I'm excited for the next episode. Sofia Falcone really is turning out to be one of the best characters in the entire show and one of the best sort of, I guess, Batman villains that we've seen in live action so far. Like, her character is just fantastic. You get so much with her story, and the performance from the actress is incredible as well. Really loving the Penguin show. This show has done no wrong so far. It's going to be hard to believe we're already halfway through this season and there's not a single bad episode, a single weak link in the entire show. It's just 10 out of 10 all around. But what did you guys think about this episode? Did you like seeing some of Sofia's backstory, or did you think, it was boring and I wanted to see the Penguin? How did you guys feel about it? Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys next time.